I meant to send my streaming accounts login verification code to my buddy, but my fingers slipped, and I sent it to my superstar ex-girlfriend instead. My ex replied at lightning speed, like she lived inside the app. 1607, that's the room number. After holding back for so long, you finally decided to come crawling back to me. Huh, you think I'll come running just because you crook a finger? What a complete joke. Don't move. It's that hotel where we always used to meet, right? I've already hit the gas. I'll reach the battlefield in 30 minutes. But let me make one thing clear. Don't get any wild ideas. We're not getting back together. Not in this lifetime. My neighborhood's water is shut off tonight. That's all. I'm only coming over to borrow your shower. And one more thing. I may be in great shape, but you don't get a free show. I gripped my phone, staring at her string of messages to herself. I was completely dumbfounded. With trembling fingers, I replied. I sent it by mistake. Then I decisively turned off my phone, pulled the blanket over my head, and slept dreamlessly all night. Early the next morning, Weibo's trending list exploded. The superstar songstress, famous for her icy poise, was clinging to a crooked old tree outside a hotel, wailing like a tea kettle at full boil. My phone vibrated like it was about to explode in my hand. I groggily opened my eyes, only to be bombarded by messages until my scalp went numb. Before my crashed brain could reboot, my buddy Yang Jian's barrage of calls came straight at me. Fang Xiu, what did you do to Shen Buyu? This is huge gossip. Ha. What could I have done? I was asleep. Sleep. Get up already. Other than you? What ex-boyfriend in the world could drive a superstar to this? Go check the trending topics. They're blowing up. Trending topics. Those two words were like a bucket of ice water, drenching me in an instant. Fragments of memory came rushing back. Last night, Yang Jian asked to borrow my streaming account. I sent him the verification code, 1607. The problem was my finger slipped. I sent it to the ex-girlfriend buried among the dead contacts in my list, Shen Buyu. She replied instantly, somehow thinking it was a hotel room number. She swore she'd arrive within 30 minutes, and even bragged about her body. Give me a break. I've been in show business for years. What incredible figure haven't I seen? Why would I care about a few muscles? All I replied was, I sent it by mistake. Then I tossed aside my phone, turned it off, and went to sleep. Who could have imagined that when I woke up, my whole world would be falling apart? I opened my chat with Shen Buyu, and damn, after I said, I sent it by mistake, there were over 99 unread messages in red. What kind of superstar singer was this? She was a nagging, resentful chatterbox. Wrong send. Are you messing with me? What does that mean? Running away at the last second, coward? You're chickening out already? Or is someone else in your room? Fang Xiu, you were the one who started flirting with me. If you dare open that door for another woman, I'll call the police outside your door, and we'll both make headlines. I'm kidding. How could I bear to have you arrested? Why does it have to be someone else? Am I not good enough? The other party unsend a message. My finger slipped. Wrong send. Unsending it won't help. You definitely saw it. My body is great, right? The other party unsend a message. Fine, I admit I was young and clueless back then. My timing wasn't great, but I've evolved now. Seriously, where are you? Reply. Have you started already? Don't let him touch you. I'm just worried you've met the wrong guy, and he'll take your money and take advantage of you. At least send a period. I'm at the door. The soundproofing is terrible. I think I hear something. Looks like I came too late. I wish you happiness. This is my last shred of dignity. I stared at the screen full of her nonsense, my temples pounding. I'd only sent for numbers, but she'd already played out. An 80 episode, angsty rich family romance. Most absurd of all, she actually went. That Shen Buyu, usually so cocky, who became as melancholy as a heartbroken girl whenever she sang love songs. I thought she'd matured over the past 2 years, but it turned out she was still hopelessly lovesick in private. If anything, it had gotten worse. I took a deep breath, then opened the trending topics with trembling hands. Of course, she dominated the list. Shen Buyu drinks her sorrows away at a hotel late at night. Video of Shen Buyu sobbing. Who is Shen Buyu's ex-boyfriend? Those and more filled the top trends. When I opened the viral video, my vision went black. The footage was blurry, but I could still make out that slender woman, clinging desperately to a decorative tree outside the hotel. She was sobbing her heart out, like a long-spouted kettle at full boil. I drove here like a maniac. Why was I still too late? What's so great about that other woman? Does she have a better body than me? As she cried, she even provided her own background music, choking out her signature hit. I love so humbly. Like a damn clown. You left so decisively, never even looking back. The comments were even more bizarre. Millions of netizens were watching the drama unfold. Holy crap, Shen Buyu is actually a top-tier hopeless romantic in private. Who could resist that adorable contrast? That ex-boyfriend is ruthless. Sounds like he arranged dates with two women in one night. Shen Buyu was the later Iving backup. That's outrageous. How could he treat our queen like that? Who is that other woman? Come out and fight me one-on-one. I just want to know what kind of legend this ex-boyfriend is. Can he come out so I can bow before him? I threw down my phone in despair and buried myself in my pillow. It was over. This time, I was truly screwed. Luckily, when we were dating back then, we kept it completely airtight. Back then, I was a barely known bottom-tier celebrity, and she was a rookie who had just debuted. No one paid us any attention. So even after the trend stayed up all morning, no one had traced it back to me. At present, the only people who knew this crucial secret were Yang Jian and me. On the other end, Yang Jian was laughing so hard he could barely breathe. No way, bro. Just because you sent a verification code to the wrong person, you nearly ruined the biggest star in Chinese entertainment. How was I supposed to know she was so dramatic? I was going to send her a WeChat message to explain. After all, it was better to settle a grudge than deepen it. But before I even finished typing, the system said she had enabled friend verification. You are not her friend. Well, damn, she deleted me. Then my special follow notification chimed. Shen Buyu had posted on Weibo, with a gut-wrenching caption, and a black and white photo of a lonely figure from behind. The moment I deleted you, I finally set myself free. The past is only a prologue, though I can never go back. The pain proves I was once alive. From now on, may we never cross paths again. Even if missing you drives me mad, I will never turn back. The moment that post went up, the comments exploded. Don't cry, queen. That scumbag doesn't deserve you. Are these lyrics from a new song? The writing is gorgeous. Our queen may be miserable, but her next album is going to be legendary. Heartbreak is the greatest fuel for creativity. She was crying her eyes out, while her fans beat drums and gongs as they waited for new music. People really do not share the same joys and sorrows. Yang Jian clicked his tongue in amazement. This case needs to go straight to the intensive care unit. But don't panic. As long as the chat logs don't leak, no one will know it was you. Once this blows over, you'll be fine. His comfort was worse than saying nothing. It just made me want to die. I rolled over, staring at the ceiling. Too miserable even to cry. Where could I even hide? I had a variety show taping this afternoon. I'd accepted the booking ages ago. What show? Love Reunion. Who's appearing? Shen Buyu and me. He hung up in silence. That's right. Some people aren't dead yet, but they already smell like a corpse. When I dragged myself into the studio, I saw the seating arrangement and nearly dropped to my knees before the production crew. There was one huge round table. Shen Buyu's name card and mine were right next to each other. Damn, this director really knew how to create an X's from Hell Showdown. By then, Shen Buyu had already arrived. I forced myself to walk over and sat beside her. The second I sat down, the woman beside me instantly went rigid. Like a startled cat, she maintained an aloof pose the entire time. Her neck stiff, her eyes gazing mournfully at the ceiling at a 4 to 5 degree angle. She wouldn't even spare me a glance. That painfully proud, I still love you, but I have to pretend I don't care act. It was honestly hilarious. I couldn't help it. The corner of my mouth twitched. In that split second, Shen Buyu whipped around and shot me a vicious glare. Her resentful gaze was thick enough to cut. You got me into this mess, and you can still laugh. Wasn't she staring at the ceiling? Did she have a radar installed? Feeling guilty, I leaned closer and lowered my voice. Well, about last night's message. Shut up. Like I'd stepped on her tail. She cut me off. She turned and loudly asked the director, "When do we start? I'm in a hurry." She had that "I won't listen to a word you say" attitude. Even Qiang Yao herself would have called it masterful. She gave me no chance to explain. Then the live countdown began. This variety show, Love Reunion, was built on pure cruelty. They found 3 ordinary couples on the verge of breaking up and made them tear open their wounds before the entire nation, while reliving their sweet memories. And we celebrity guests sat in the observation room, passing judgment. The ordinary couples segments had been filmed 2 days ago. Today was the live commentary session for us observers. After the big screen showed why all three couples broke up, the director cut back to the studio. Everyone knew Shen Buyu had suffered heartbreak last night, and the story was trending. Naturally, the host wouldn't let that hot topic go. He actually skipped the planned format and shoved the microphone in front of Shen Buyu. Shen Buyu. The issues with those three couples were all quite typical. But what netizens are most curious about is this. For someone like you with looks to spare and talent to match a top star like you, why did your ex-boyfriend break up with you? The whole studio fell dead silent. This wasn't an interview. It was a public execution. Shen Buyu's eyes reddened slightly. She sniffled, her voice faintly broken. He told me we couldn't marry because close relatives can't marry. What? Are you long-lost siblings separated for years? That is so melodramatic. Shen Buyu gritted her teeth and said each word slowly. He said we had to break up because we share the same mother, China. I pinched my thigh hard to keep from laughing on the spot. That was the excuse I'd made up back then. To dump her. The guests all exchanged bewildered looks. One blunt female guest couldn't help defending Shen Buyu. That excuse is ridiculous. It is obviously a lie. Girl, he definitely had another woman. Shen Buyu instantly bristled and gave a soft snort. Impossible. He is the kindest, most innocent man I've ever met. He would never cheat. Kind. Would a kind man arrange to meet you and another woman at the same time, then leave you crying while hugging a tree on the street? The entire studio erupted. A cold sweat broke out all over me. This female guest was seriously savage. Shen Buyu's confidence instantly deflated. Looking down and picking at her fingers, she muttered, "It isn't his fault. He sent the room number to the wrong person. I was the one who got carried away. I thought he'd changed his mind about me." Even the host was stunned. It went that far? He even sent you the room number? Did he explain afterward? He only sent a string of numbers. After a while, he coldly replied, "Sent it by mistake." Maybe, when he was sending it to someone else, he thought of me subconsciously. At least, in that moment, I was in his heart. Every guest gave her the pitying look reserved for a hopeless idiot. The live chat scrolled wildly. What kind of world-class sucker is she? How do you send a room number to the wrong person? He was deliberately humiliating Shen Buyu. That man is awful. I feel terrible for her. But Shen Buyu's thought process is truly something else. Where can I find a gorgeous, love-struck woman like this? I want one too. Everyone was reveling in their crusade against the scumbag. Only I, the one who knew the truth, could not sit still. Finally, the host remembered me in the corner. Fang Xiu, as the only male observer here. What do you think? I instinctively glanced at Shen Buyu. She had her head lowered. Under the table, those priceless hands had crumpled her expensive dress into a wrinkled heap. She was clearly on the verge of breaking. I sighed and cleared my throat. Well, is it possible? That string of numbers he sent you was not a room number. The host froze. Not a room number? Then, what could it be? Could it have just been a verification code? Shen Buyu abruptly raised her head. In her ash-gray eyes, a spark of light burst forth. The other guest immediately objected. How could that be? With all the anti-scam campaigns these days, who would casually send a verification code to someone else? Besides, verification codes are 6 digits, while room numbers are only 3 or 4. Shen Buyu suddenly shouted, startling everyone. Some verification codes have 4 digits. Video subscription codes are 4 digits. I've seen them. She was so excited that her voice shook. You mean, he only wanted to borrow a video subscription, not go to a hotel? Is that true? Seeing how close she was to tears, my heart completely softened. At a time like this, if I said nothing, she would probably go home and hang herself tonight. I put on my practiced on-camera smile. It is only a guess, but if he had really arranged to meet someone, why send it to you by mistake just to humiliate you? Maybe he wanted to explain, but you'd already deleted him? Shen Buyu immediately began blaming herself. She slapped her thigh in frustration. It was my fault. If I add him again, will he accept? The host was only too happy to stir things up. Isn't that easy? Shen Buyu, try adding him right here. The big screen immediately switched to her phone display. My heart dropped. Quite a few people in the industry have my WeChat. If my profile picture appeared on that screen, my cover would be completely blown. I hurriedly stopped them, my tone sincere. Let's not. Give Shen Buyu some privacy. They have already broken up. It isn't right to exploit his private life like this. The live chat changed its tune at once. Fang Xiu is so gentle. He is so emotionally intelligent. Everyone else is just enjoying the gossip. Only he is protecting Shen Buyu's dignity. and he was the only one who considered it might be a verification code. He is so smart. Shen Buyu, stop pining after that ex-boyfriend. Look at Fang Xiu beside you. He is perfect boyfriend material. I agree. Fang Xiu may not be a top star, but he is beautiful, kind, and a brilliant actor. Most importantly, he has never had a scandal. Isn't he twice the man that scumbag who sent the room number is? I am begging Shen Buyu to pursue Fang Xiu. As I watched those comments, I smiled brightly on the outside, while panicking inside. Everyone, please stop praising me. Once you find out the gentle angel and the scumbag who sent that room number are the same person, you'll curse me so badly, smoke will rise from my ancestors' graves. The show had barely ended when Shen Buyu sent $2,000,000 to my phone. The transfer note contained only for Chinese characters. Please accept my friend request. I ran faster than the camera crew. Shen Buyu was blocked at the entrance by fans and could only watch my van drive away. The moment I got home, friend requests began popping up one after another. Was it really just a verification code? I'll give you all of today's appearance fee. Please accept my request. Fang Xiu. If you keep ignoring me, I'll sing beneath your apartment all night. I stared at the amount and counted the zeros twice. Then I quickly held my phone away. This was how Shen Buyu pursued someone back then. She would just shove both herself and her bank card in front of me. I did not take it 3 years ago. 3 years later, I dared even less. Afraid she would really come, I could only accept her request. She replied instantly. First, she sent a sticker of a puppy spinning in circles. 1607 was a verification code for a video subscription. It was meant for Yang Jian. My finger really slipped. Shen Buyu sent over a dozen exclamation points in a row. Then she resent the photo she had withdrawn last night. This time, the lighting was brighter, and there were more angles. I did not dare look closely. I immediately returned the transfer. Keep your money. Take back the photo too. She agreed at once, then added, I'll keep the money for you for now. It can be your dowry someday. That was followed by a newly taken photo. The same shirt, the same hotel mirror. She had not even changed her belt. The difference was that she did not dare include a room number this time. She only placed a sheet of paper in the corner of the photo. It read, I am here of my own free will, not a bonus with a verification code. I placed my phone face down on the bed. Less than 2 seconds later, I turned it back over and saved the photo. Yang Jian happened to call. You two are trending again. Your eye contact on the show was edited into slow motion. Me explaining the verification code for her became a heartfelt defense. Shen Buyu was even more outrageous. She followed the couple fan forum with her main account. She even liked the video. The production team saw the buzz fall into their laps. They arranged for everyone to stay together at a villa for the next episode. At the bottom of the call sheet was a line in bold. Observer guests must live on site for the entire program. Partners may not be changed without permission. I took a photo and sent it to Brother Chen, asking how much the breach of contract penalty was. Brother Chen replied with the bill. I immediately decided that observing an old flame was not so bad after all. I stared at the call sheet and remembered 3 years ago. Shen Buyu had only just become famous then. I was still scraping by on supporting roles. Once, there was an accident during a wire stunt. She could not get to the hospital in time. After that, she began crossing out parts of my scripts for me. No wire stunts. No night shoots. All dangerous scenes had to use a stunt double. She even wanted me to quit show business. She said she could support me. Back then, there were 3 scripts on my desk. One had a car chase on a rainy night. One required wire work. One required shooting out of town for months. Shen Buyu took a red pen and crossed them out one by one. The only one left was a supporting office role with only 8 scenes. I snapped the red pen and threw it in the trash. But she thought I was merely throwing a tantrum. She thought she was protecting me. All I saw were fewer and fewer roles I could take. In the end, I said, we share the same mother, and severed our relationship completely. Who would have thought that 3 years later, I would end up on the same production bus with her again? The other guests were considerate enough to leave the back row for us. Not long after the bus set off, Shen Buyu's head dropped onto my shoulder. Just as I was about to push her away, she reminded me with her eyes closed. I get carsick. If you dare move away, I'll throw up on you. The camera was pointed right at us. I could only let her lean on me the whole way. When we reached the villa, the production team started with a blindfolded hand recognition game. All 3 pairs were completely wiped out, but Shen Buyu voluntarily put on the blindfold. She did not even touch the people before me. She followed the line straight to me and grabbed my wrist. The director had deliberately changed the staff's order. and sprayed the same perfume on everyone's hands. Shen Buyu was not fooled by the scent. Her fingertips slid from my palm to my index finger, stopping at the faint scar that was nearly invisible. "It's Fang Xiu." The director asked her to explain why. Shen Buyu gently squeezed my index finger. "There is a small scar here. He got it filming an action scene when he was 12. I had nearly forgotten it myself." During a break, she cornered me in a hallway without cameras and pressed a tube of hand cream into my hand. It was the brand I used all the time 3 years ago. "Your hands are rougher than they used to be." I handed it back. "Shen Buyu, we have already broken up." She stood there holding the hand cream for a long while. She did not try to force it into my hand again. She only screwed the cap on tightly and put it back in her pocket. This time, she understood my rejection. In the final episode, a female guest publicly demanded that her boyfriend quit his photography job. "Location shoots are dangerous. I can support him. Why does he have to go out and suffer?" When Shen Buyu heard that, she immediately hit the pause button. Being able to support him does not mean you can throw away his camera for him. If he wants to shoot on location, you can prepare a first aid kit for him. You can scout locations with him, but you cannot quit his job for him. After saying that, she turned the microphone on the table toward me. 3 years ago, I made that very mistake. The female guest froze. "I'm just afraid something will happen to him." Shen Buyu pushed the location shoot contract back toward her. "If you're afraid something will happen to him, go with him to get proper insurance and ask about the safety plan. Do not wait until he's asleep and email his resignation to his company for him." She was talking about someone else, but her fingers kept pressing the edge of the contract. I knew. She had remembered my 3 crossed-out scripts. When I looked up, she had already pulled her hand back. The host, eager to stir up more drama, had the heart rate monitors brought over at once. "Miss Shen, since you've admitted you were wrong, do you dare take the test with Mr. Fang?" Shen Buyu did not look at the camera. She only held out her hand to me. I placed my hand in hers. The number on the screen shot up from 91, 120, 140. The alarm rang through the entire studio. Shen Buyu looked at the monitor first, then at me. The corner of her mouth had just begun to lift. When I reminded her, "The machine only proves my heart rate. It does not mean I've agreed to get back together." Her smile vanished at once. "Understood. Then I'll get in line, starting with the passing heart rate." The host handed us the result cards. One read 147. While I was not looking, Shen Buyu slipped both cards into her pocket. On the night the villa stay ended, I tossed and turned in bed. Those heart rate numbers were still trending online. Yet Shen Buyu had not sent me a message. At 1 in the morning, someone knocked on my door. I looked through the peephole. Shen Buyu was leaning against the wall. She was holding more than just a pillow. She was clutching both heart rate result cards too. She held the card reading 152 against her chest, as though she had come to apply to get back together. Her face was burning red. "Fang Xiu, I have a fever." I reached out and touched her forehead. It was frighteningly hot. I could only let her in first. The room's fixed camera was still recording. The first thing Shen Buyu did after entering was not climb into my bed, but cover the camera with a bath towel. She did it so smoothly that I could hardly believe her fever had muddled her mind. Shen Buyu climbed under the covers. "I saw you like that couple video." My fingers slipped. "Did your heart rate slip too?" I did not answer. She reached a hand out from beneath the covers and gently hooked her pinky around mine. "I will not cross out your scripts for you again. Film whatever you want. At most, I'll wait downstairs for you to wrap. Fang Xiu, give me one more chance." She did not say she would support me, nor did she promise I would never be hurt again. She only set that old tube of hand cream on the bedside table. I stared at her burning red ears and nodded anyway. Shen Buyu immediately sat up. She was energetic enough to run 3 laps around the villa. Only then did I realize her so-called fever was faked with a hot towel before she came in. The hot towel was still stuffed in her pillowcase. The evidence was all there. She had no way to deny it. I grabbed the pillow and threw it at her. Shen Buyu caught the pillow and smiled. "All is fair in love and war. This is a perfectly reasonable way to win you back." Early the next morning, she came out of my room and ran straight into the hallway camera crew. The cameraman was so startled he nearly dropped the camera, but Shen Buyu flashed a peace sign at the camera. "Let me introduce it again. This is my boyfriend's room." The cameraman stood there frozen for 3 seconds. His camera first focused on the room number, then the pillow in her arms. As if that were not proof enough, Shen Buyu held the heart rate result cards up to the camera. By the time I chased after her, She had already filmed all the material the gossip accounts could need. Half an hour later, our two managers cornered us in the van. Sister Wang clutched a bottle of heart pills, while Brother Chen held the data on lost followers. Both wore equally grim expressions. Sister Wang asked what had happened last night. Shen Buyu folded an orange peel into a flower. This is just two adults getting back together. Brother Chen turned and asked whether I had agreed willingly. I nodded. Only then did he lay out 3 public relations statements. Shen Buyu did not even look at them. No need to spin it. Just make it official. Sister Wang nearly took an extra dose on the spot. She was a chart-topping diva. Once she went public with her relationship, her endorsements and business deals could be affected. Worse still, people were already accusing me in the comments of using her to advance my career. Brother Chen wanted to suppress the camera incident first. Sister Wang wanted us to go public a week later. Shen Buyu propped her phone beside a cup of water, then started a live stream in front of all 4 of us. I can afford the losses. If I lose work, I can earn it back. But I lost him for 3 years before I found him again. The live stream lagged for 5 minutes, as viewers surged past 10 million. Shen Buyu did not let me show my face. She only pulled my hand into the bottom of the frame. I pursued Fang Xiu, and I faked being sick to get into his room. This morning's footage was not arranged by Fang Xiu, and he did not pay to make it trend. If you want to hold someone accountable, come after me. 3 years ago, I used protecting him as an excuse to turn down roles for him, because I wanted to keep him at home. I was the one in the wrong. Do not attack him. What he wants is the stage, not to be anyone's accessory. For every role he gets from now on, please watch his performance first. Do not label him as Shen Buyu's boyfriend first. As she said that, she released my hand. She was the only one left in frame. She did not use me to shield herself from any backlash over the announcement. After she finished, she pulled a script from Sister Wang's hands, and a quick plug from Mr. Fang. His new drama is casting now. If any directors find him suitable, remember to contact Brother Chen. Sister Wang closed her eyes, but Brother Chen's phone rang immediately. The first call was from a brand partner. Sister Wang put it on speaker. She was ready to hear them terminate the contract. Instead, they requested an additional livestream featuring both of us. They specifically wanted verification codes as the theme. The second call came from a casting director. He had seen my quick reactions on the variety show. He wanted Brother Chen to send my audition materials over that same day. Going public did not knock Shen Buyu off her pedestal. Instead, it made plenty of casual viewers remember me. The video platform even made 1607 into a membership discount code. They had us shoot a set of promotional photos. The photographer asked Shen Buyu to look aggrieved. She crouched outside the door, hugging a pillow, slipping into character in an instant. Holding my phone, I slipped a note through the crack in the door. The verification code has expired, but you can renew me. This last-minute photo eventually became the platform's most downloaded poster of the year. The poster had only one caption: if you love him, do not let him send the wrong code. After those photos went viral, scripts finally stopped offering me only third male leads and nameless extras. Every night, I read scripts, while Shen Buyu took notes across from me. She no longer crossed things out for me. She only stuck notes beside dangerous scenes. Confirm insurance. Confirm stunt double arrangements. Confirm rap time. I will pick you up. When she saw a kissing scene, she would add another note. I hereby apply to play your scene partner. I tore off the last note. The next day, it was back on the script. After deliberating for a long time, I auditioned for a top-tier historical drama, The Eldest Prince. Bai Ningbing had already been cast as the female lead. She was a rising young actress known for her talent. She chose projects based solely on the script, and was famously devoted to her craft. The director gave me an audition scene. The eldest prince is betrayed by his fiancée, and tears up their marriage contract in the grand hall. I threw the contract into the brazier, and drew the prop sword. This prince has defended the frontier. I have taken arrows for you, too. As of today, our engagement is over. Whether it is the throne from now on, or the whole realm, I will claim it myself. The director had barely called cut when Bai Ningbing rose from the corner, cast Fang Xiu as the eldest prince. I wanted to act opposite him. Before I could even celebrate, the audition room door opened. Shen Buyu walked in wearing sunglasses. Sister Wang followed behind, having given up resisting. The director thought she was there to sing the theme song, but Shen Buyu opened the script and pointed to a role with barely a dozen scenes. The masked mute female guard beside the eldest prince. I will play her. No one said a word. A chart-topping diva was voluntarily taking a lesser role, to play a character with no lines. A fourth billed supporting actress whose face was never fully shown. The director confirmed it 3 times. Shen Buyu only looked at Bai Ningbing. No lines is perfect. That way, I will not steal scenes from the female lead. Bai Ningbing closed the script and looked Shen Buyu over from head to toe. You can join the cast if you can pass the martial arts coordinator first. Shen Buyu took off her sunglasses and handed the director 3 pages of character backstory. They detailed the mute guard's past, old injuries, and swordsmanship habits. She had not come just to keep an eye on me. At least, before entering the audition room, she had already treated the role as a job. On the day the Eldest Prince began filming, more than 100 media outlets showed up. Bai Ningbing stood beside me. Shen Buyu wore a black guard's uniform, with a half-silver mask over her face, quietly standing guard behind me. After she left the makeup room, she did not speak again. When Sister Wang asked what she wanted for lunch, she typed on her phone. When the director called her over for photos, she only nodded. Everyone else thought it was a publicity stunt, but I saw a note on her phone, a reminder that read, "A guard uses words sparingly. Shen Buyu, keep quiet." As the reporters kept filming, every camera turned toward her. Someone asked me whether Shen Buyu joining the production to accompany her boyfriend would hurt the chemistry between Bai Ningbing and me as a couple. I was still searching for an answer that would not offend anyone when a scabbard extended from behind me. Shen Buyu did not draw her sword. She merely used the scabbard to gently lower the reporter's microphone, then tapped the interview outline on the table. Today's interview is about the roles. We are not discussing the actors' private lives. The reporter had no choice but to change the question. Every question afterward focused on the characters. Someone asked why the mute guard wore a mask. Shen Buyu pulled an old wooden token from her waist and set it before me. It was part of the backstory she had added for the character. When she was young, the guard owed the Eldest Prince her life. The scar on her face came from taking an arrow for him. This wooden token was the only keepsake she had never discarded. After hearing that, the director immediately had the props team write the token into later scenes. Shen Buyu withdrew her sword, then resumed her place half a step behind me. That video trended the same day. Netizens said, the mute guard did not say a single word, yet she had already made the character perfectly clear. The first major scene had the Eldest Prince under house arrest. Bai Ningbing, a female general from an enemy kingdom, infiltrated under cover of night to demand the whereabouts of the military tally. Once the cameras rolled, Bai Ningbing approached me with her sword drawn. "Hand over the military tally. I will see you leave alive." I leaned against the wall, clutching the military tally in my palm. "You want it? Come take it yourself." According to the script, Bai Ningbing was meant to lift my chin and corner me with nowhere to retreat. Just as she reached out, a sheathed longsword swept between us. Its scabbard firmly blocked her wrist. Shen Buyu stood before me, behind her mask, her eyes fixed solely on that hand. That move was not in the script, yet no one called cut. Bai Ningbing wasn't thrown off by her. Her blade scraped against the scabbard as she turned it, and demanded, "You can protect him for now, but can you protect him forever?" Shen Buyu had no lines. She simply shifted half a step sideways, completely shielding me from view. That retreat and block was clearer than any answer. Bai Ningbing withdrew her hand, turning her blade toward Shen Buyu. "A mere guard dares to stop me." Shen Buyu flicked her wrist and forced her back half a step with the scabbard. The director shot up from behind the monitor. "Do not stop. Keep it just like that." The guard, originally meant to hide in the shadows, was immediately rewritten as the Eldest Prince's second blade. When I turned around, Shen Buyu had already retreated into the shadows. Only her sword hand quietly flexed open once. Her palm was covered in freshly scabbed blisters. Before joining the cast, she went to the training hall after work every day. The first time she drew a sword, the scabbard flew off and shattered a mirror. The second time she turned her wrist, the web between her thumb and forefinger tore. Her whole hand swelled until she could not hold chopsticks. She never told me. She had Sister Wang schedule her training after my auditions. In that open palm, I saw layers of old and new blisters. After a clip of that scene aired, no one on set saw her as a superstar just playing around. After watching the playback, Bai Ningbing made only one request. "If you improvise movements again, give me a signal beforehand." Shen Buyu raised a wooden sword and tapped her left shoulder twice with its hilt. That became their agreed signal. From then on, whenever Bai Ningbing came near me, she would first glance at Shen Buyu's left shoulder. The two were hardly friendly, but their coordination grew more precise. Was I cool just now? Just average. She ignored me all afternoon. At dinner, I slid a small tube of burn ointment toward her. Even just average gets ointment. A caste benefit. She tucked the ointment into her pocket, then immediately typed in her notes. Mr. Fang talks tough, but he handles the aftercare. The outdoor scenes were even more eventful. The script had me step on my own rope hem, with Bai Ningbing catching me in time. Before filming, Shen Buyu repeatedly polished her prop sword nearby. The moment the director called action, I fell backward as choreographed. Bai Ningbing reached out to catch me, but a black figure flipped down from behind the rockery. Shen Buyu caught my shoulder, but lost her own footing. Bai Ningbing caught her around the waist instead. All three of us froze at once. I was lying in Shen Buyu's arms, while Bai Ningbing held Shen Buyu. The behind-the-scenes cameraman could not hold back his laughter, and his camera shook twice. I was the first to scramble up from the ground. Shen Buyu was still holding the pose of catching me. Bai Ningbing looked at her own hand, and seriously asked the director, "Whose romance scene is this supposed to be?" The director charged over with his megaphone. "You are a guard, not an assassin falling out of the sky." Shen Buyu took out her phone, and typed a line. "Guards stand on high ground. The view is better." The director pointed at Bai Ningbing's hand. "Then why is she holding you?" "Calculation error. I will be more careful next time." Bai Ningbing let go, then offered a serious assessment. "Slim waist." Shen Buyu immediately loosened her guard's waist sash by 1 notch. During lunch break, she secretly finished every last grain of rice in her box lunch. There was no way she could make her waist smaller. The costume was simply tailored to tight. Shen Buyu did not climb the rockery again that day. When the production released the behind-the-scenes footage, the pairing of Bai Ningbing and me did not take off, but the two of them gained a dedicated fan forum. When Shen Buyu found out, she used an alternate account to lurk there for 10 minutes. When she came out, her expression was complicated. She asked why netizens thought Bai Ningbing holding her like that had chemistry. I answered solemnly, "Because Ms. Bai caught you steadily." That night, she practiced landings after hours. The next day, her legs hurt so badly she went stiff walking downstairs. After rapping the next day, Shen Buyu paced around the room a dozen times, clutching the script. In the next scene, the eldest prince is poisoned. I have to sit in a bath barrel wearing only an inner robe. Bai Ningbing uses her inner power behind me to force out the poison. Shen Buyu stared at the words, "wearing only an inner robe," then went to the front desk for another large bath towel. First, she asked whether I could wear an extra cloak. The costume director shooed her out. Then she asked whether they could use 2 separate bath barrels. The director pushed her and her script straight out the door. Finally, she returned carrying the bath towel, and read the water scene safety checklist for times. I thought she was going to interfere again, but she only circled the water temperature section. Someone has to monitor this. As for the rest, trust your professional judgment. On the day the water scene was filmed, the set was cleared in advance. Taking advantage of her role as my personal guard, Shen Buyu sat beside the director, holding a bath towel. Before filming began, she checked the temperature 3 times with a thermometer. Below 40 degrees Celsius, the non-slip mat was in place. The medic was right outside the door. Once she confirmed everything, she returned the checklist to the stage manager. She did not suggest changing the scene again. I wore a protective garment underneath, with a soaked inner robe over it. Only my shoulders showed on camera. Bai Ningbing sat behind me, her palm pressed to my back. Her gaze stayed fixed on the wall across from us. We had rehearsed the blocking in advance. Her hand rested only over the protective garment. The areas caught by the camera were covered with flesh-toned fabric too. The soaked inner robe clung to my shoulders and back. On camera, our distance looked intimate enough. Off camera, every necessary part was still covered. As the camera pushed in, the fog machine was suddenly turned up to high. The bath water was getting hotter too. The crew member monitoring the temperature was called away to move lights. The checklist was left on an empty chair. Through the monitor, Shen Buyu saw me gripping the rim of the barrel. She was already on her feet. I had not eaten that morning. My vision went dark, and I slid down the side of the barrel. Bai Ningbing had just reached out. When Shen Buyu rushed into frame, without even taking off her boots, she stepped into the bath barrel and hauled me out of the water. Fang Xiu. She forgot she was playing a mute. Her voice cracked with panic. Water splashed all over the director. The camera was still rolling. Shen Buyu did not look at the camera or care about her soaked costume. First, she supported the back of my neck, then covered my shoulders and back with a towel. Holding me, she ran for the medical room. Her mask fell into the water too. By the time the set medic arrived, Shen Buyu had already wrapped me tightly in towels. The examination showed mild heat stroke and low blood sugar. The doctor said I would be fine. Only then did Sister Wang coax her away from the examination room door. When Brother Chen arrived, Shen Buyu's wet boots were still dripping onto the hallway floor. She clutched the water temperature log, but did not curse anyone from start to finish. The producers summoned everyone responsible for safety that day to review the incident. When I woke up, she was sitting beside my bed, peeling an apple. She had peeled the apple down until only half the core remained. 3 failed attempts lay in the trash can. Shen Buyu put down the knife and repeatedly asked whether I was dizzy or nauseous. Then she started demanding answers from the director again. Who turned on the fog machine? Who checked the water temperature? We are not filming scenes like this again. The moment she said it, she stopped herself first. The hospital room fell silent. The red pen I had snapped 3 years ago seemed to lie between us again. I took the apple core from her. You can investigate the first 2 things, but not the last one. Saving me is one thing. Don't cross out my scripts for me again. Shen Buyu was quiet for several seconds. Then she took the temperature log down from the bedside. I understand. Before filming from now on, I will only be responsible for checking your water temperature. She picked up her phone and, right in front of me, withdrew the message asking Sister Wang to reject water scenes. Then she sent the incident report to the production crew, add medical staff, assign more people to monitor temperatures, set new limits on the fog machine. She set her phone back on the bedside table. This time, she did not touch my contract. A secretly filmed clip from the set had already shot to the top of the trending list. In the video, Shen Buyu ran out carrying me, with her half-fallen mask dangling from one ear. Someone commented. The mute female guard finally spoke. I handed her the phone. Your mask fell off anyway. Do not wear it again. She touched her face, still worried that her character had not finished filming. I placed the half-silver mask on the bedside table. The guard is not dead. It is just that the whole world knows. She is here to protect the eldest prince. Shen Buyu's ears turned bright red, but she did not push her luck like she used to. She merely handed me some warm water. Drink half a cup first. We will discuss your reward once you are better. As I took the cup, I touched the blisters on her palm. 2 had softened and burst open in the hot water, yet she had not mentioned them once since entering the room. I asked the nurse for more ointment. Only then did Shen Buyu smile. Do heroes get workers' compensation too? They do, but it does not include crowding into my hospital bed. After filming resumed, the director added an ending scene for the mute female guard. The eldest prince's carriage leaves the imperial capital. She stands alone on the city wall, removes her mask, and throws it into a wooden chest. Inside lies the wooden token that once saved a life. She leaves the token in the chest and does not chase after the eldest prince, who can now hold a sword on his own. The final shot showed only her lips moving. Fang Xiu, come home for dinner. That line was not in the script. I sat inside the carriage, watching her lips through the curtain. I nearly missed my next line. The director thought my reddened eyes meant I was in character. We got it in one take. After the eldest prince aired, it became that year's breakout hit. That wooden token, that sword that never left its sheath, and the half mask on the city wall were endlessly analyzed by viewers. Bai Ningbing won Best Actress, and I won Best Actor. For a 4th billed female role with barely any dialogue, Shen Buyu won Best Supporting Actress. At the awards ceremony, she carried her trophy to the microphone. Sister Wang had prepared an acceptance speech, but she did not read a single word of it. On the 8th of next month, Fang Xiu and I are getting married. No wedding gifts needed. Just remember to rate the eldest prince. The applause nearly blew the roof off. The camera immediately cut to my face. I was still holding my Best Actor trophy, caught between laughing and keeping a straight face. Bai Ningbing sat beside me and quietly reminded me, Mr. Feng, it seems your proposal got skipped. Sitting below the stage, I first looked down at my bare ring finger. Backstage, Shen Buyu was still asking whether this round of publicity was enough. I held out my hand to her. Where is the ring? Where is the proposal? Shen Buyu stood there clutching her trophy, stunned for a long while. We are already back together. Do we still have to go through all that? I pressed the elevator button for her. No proposal. Then, on the 8th of next month, you can marry your trophy instead. Before the elevator doors closed, I saw her lunge at Sister Wang. Sister Wang protected her fast-acting heart medicine with one hand and slapped the acceptance speech onto Shen Buyu's face with the other. There was only one note on the back. Propose first, then set the date. The next morning, I had just arrived on my new set when a huge shadow suddenly covered the sky above the set. More than 1,000 drones formed a heart and slowly formed for bold words. Fang Xiu, marry me. Below the heart was a smaller line. I have learned to respect your career. Please approve my application for lifelong companionship. There was nothing wrong with that statement. The problem was, it was windy that day. The drones wobbled as though none of them had slept. The entire crew was egging us on. Before I could even find her, the drones in the center suddenly lost connection. Half the word for Mary disappeared. All that remained in the sky was, Fang Xiu, take me. The heart at the edge was missing a chunk too, making it look like a potato someone had bitten into. Then, the drones began running out of power. One after another, they landed in the padded foam area nearby. Shen Buyu stood on a lift platform in a white suit. She had only read 2 lines from her confession card before she had to turn it into an accident report. The director picked up a drone. Ms. Shen, you can propose. But first, settle the location rental fee. Her first proposal ended when Brother Chen received the compensation payment. I thought she would finally settle down. But when I opened my lunchbox at noon, the rice had been pressed into a heart shape. A glittering key was buried right in the center. Shen Buyu rushed out from behind the catering cart and dropped to one knee. The key to a house by the sea. The deed is in your name. Marry me. 2 grains of rice were still stuck to the key. I picked it up with my chopsticks and stared at it for a long moment. Do you think I need a house? She immediately pointed at the bowl of soup beside it. If you do not, the car keys are still in the soup. I looked down at the seaweed egg drop soup. I even put down my chopsticks. Shen Buyu, a proposal is not an asset transfer, and it is not a scavenger hunt on set. Still on her knees, she handed both food-smeared keys to Sister Wang. Sister Wang accepted them with her eyes closed and told an assistant to clean them first. Her second proposal ended with me ordering another lunchbox. That evening, I messaged Shen Buyu, do not disrupt the crew, and do not buy trending topics. She replied with a sobbing emoji, then asked if she could have one last chance. I gave her only 3 conditions. Do not take over public spaces. Do not involve people who have nothing to do with us. And do not hide metal objects in food again. She replied with a salute emoji. Half an hour later, she came to pick me up. There was no media. Even Sister Wang was not in the car. She was not wearing a white suit. She wore the white shirt from when she first met me 3 years ago. The cuffs had gone soft from washing. The bottom button was still sewn on in the wrong color. I had sewn it on for her. Shen Buyu parked outside that hotel and led me to room 1607. She did not open the door. Instead, she handed me an old phone. After we broke up 3 years ago, she got a new phone, but kept the old one. It held more than 100 messages she had never sent. There were no long love letters. They were all little things that happened to her. Moments she instinctively wanted to tell me about. It rained today. Does your old leg injury hurt? I just won an award. You were not in the audience. It did not mean much. That actress held your waist. I know it was for work, but I am still unhappy about it. I passed a menswear store. I saw a watch that would suit you. I bought it. I did not dare give it to you. I forgot the lyrics again at rehearsal today. You used to hold up lyric cue cards from the audience. The hand cream Sister Wang bought smells wrong. The one you use has been discontinued. I bought the last 6 tubes. At 2 in the morning, I saw that your new drama had wrapped. You had another cut on your hand. I have no right to ask. All I could do was leave medicine in the car. I scrolled through them one by one. The final message was from 3 days ago. Fang Xiu is willing to come back. This time, I cannot keep him trapped again. Further down the screen was a photo. It was the old hand cream from when we shared an apartment. She had replaced its cap and always kept it in her bag. Shen Buyu stood at the emergency stairwell door, holding a black ring box. She told me that on the night she received the verification code, she had not truly left. She had rushed to room 1607. Even after my scolding snapped her back to her senses, she was still worried. She sat in the stairwell all night, afraid there truly was someone else in the room, and afraid something might happen to me. Only after dawn, when she confirmed I had checked out, did she cling to that tree and cry. Later, a hotel security guard came to send her away. She lied and said she was waiting for a designated driver. The guard glanced at her car in the underground garage, but did not expose her lie. He only handed her a bottle of water. I looked down at the old phone. The battery indicator in the upper right corner showed only 3%. Shen Buyu dropped to one knee before me. Inside the box was a black titanium ring. 4 digits were engraved inside the band. 1607. The ring had no decoration. The numbers were hidden inside the band. From the outside, it was simply a clean, understated men's ring. Only when I took it off, Could I see the absurd mix-up we had shared? She did not recite some long speech. She only placed the choice in my hands. Fang Xiu, I always used to make decisions for you. This time, you choose for yourself. Will you marry me? She did not bring up houses, cars, or a wedding date. Nor did she use 3 years of waiting to pressure me into saying yes. After she asked, she simply knelt there in silence. The motion sensor light in the hallway went out once. Then her softly trembling hand triggered it again. If I did not say yes soon, you were really going to cry all the leaves off that tree outside the hotel. Shen Buyu tried twice, before she got the ring onto my ring finger. The first time, she put it on my middle finger. She was so nervous, she could not even tell left from right. She even tried to pretend it was part of the plan. I held my hand out again, and let her try again. Just as she stood up, the old phone shut off because its battery died. The number plate for 1607 was still lit. This time, nobody went to the wrong room. Shen Buyu stood at the door, staring at the ring on my hand for a long while, before remembering to ask whether we should open the room. No, I have filming tomorrow morning. She followed me into the elevator, and quickly accepted the arrangement. Then I will take you home. Do not take that ring off on the way. I ran my thumb over the 1607 engraved inside the band. I did not take it off. 1 month later, our wedding was held by the sea. There were no giant wedding portraits in the reception area. There was only a giant phone chat window on display. Shen Buyu had made 1607 the wedding emblem. The signing cards looked like verification code entry fields. The table numbers were written as room numbers. Even the favor boxes were printed with. This message was sent correctly. When Sister Wang saw it, she asked whether Shen Buyu planned to tell this story until retirement. Shen Buyu nodded solemnly. I looked at it for a long time, but in the end, I did not have anyone take it down. Before the ceremony, I was fixing my tie in the dressing room, when someone suddenly knocked on the door. Shen Buyu stood outside, with bridesmaid Bai Ningbing behind her. She would not patiently wait for the ceremony. She insisted on coming to get me herself. Bai Ningbing was also carrying a pair of flats. Shen Buyu feared she would trip on the red carpet in high heels. She only changed shoes when she reached the entrance. Yang Jian and the groomsmen blocked the doorway. They had prepared only 2 questions. They had originally planned to make her brush her teeth with mustard and jumping rope on an acupressure mat. I had seen the plan, so I had Yang Jian put away the unopened mustard. Only the 2 questions about us remained. First question: what is 1607? A video membership verification code, not a room number. Second question: among the hands reaching out from behind the curtain, pick out mine. Yang Jian had made special preparations this time. Everyone used the same hand cream, and concealer hid the scar on my index finger. Shen Buyu stood before the curtain. First, she blindfolded herself, then clasped her hands behind her back. She did not rush to touch anyone. She only listened to their breathing for a few seconds, then walked straight to me. She had not touched anyone else. She took my right hand, pressing her thumb over the old scar on my index finger. Concealer can hide its color, but not that slight raised mark. Found you. Yang Jian could only step aside. Bai Ningbing reminded her from beside us. Miss Shen, according to the schedule, you should be in the other dressing room. The schedule can wait. I cannot lose the groom. She still tied a tie the same way she had 3 years ago. When she reached the second loop, her nerves turned it into a tight knot. Bai Ningbing handed her scissors. I quickly shielded my tie. No need. Let her take her time. Shen Buyu fussed with it for ages, head lowered. Her temples were sweating more than they did at a New Year's gala. As we stepped onto the stage, she was even more nervous than I was. She led with her right foot, then stepped back, thinking it was against protocol. She did not even notice she was holding her vow card upside down. The officiant had barely asked whether she was willing. I do. The guest burst into laughter. When it was time to exchange vows, she simply put her card away. Fang Xiu, whenever you take on wire work, I will wait below. I can check the safety harness with you, but whether you get on the rig is your decision. When you film night scenes, I will leave a light on for you. Whoever you want to play, I will not cross out your scripts for you anymore. If you accidentally send something, no matter what it is, I will ask first before rushing out. If you do not want to answer, I will wait right where I am. I could not help laughing. That last line was the point. She slipped that 1607 men's ring onto my finger, and I slipped a ring onto her ring finger. Sister Wang went through half a pack of tissues in tears. Brother Chen was busy answering a call about a new drama. When the phone rang for a 3rd time, I turned and gave him a look. Brother Chen immediately turned it off, then stuffed my upcoming production contract back into his bag. Today, We are only having a wedding. No work talk. Bai Ningbing and Yang Jian, seated 2 rows apart, raised their phones to take pictures at the same time. After the wedding photos were posted, online fans finally turned the phrase verification code couple from a joke into a flood of blessings. The streaming site also sent us a lifetime membership card. Its number was still 1607. Shen Buyu slipped it into my wallet, reminding me to come to her first whenever it needed renewing. I asked whether she was still afraid of sending a message to the wrong person. No. After all, the recipient is already by my side. 1 year later, our names were trending again. Shen Buyu became a mother. Fang Xiu became a father. Lying in her hospital bed, she insisted on posting a photo from her main account of a big hand holding a tiny one. In the photo, the little hand clutched her index finger. The caption read, "Welcome to the newest member of our family. Tentative name, Fang Xiu. Nickname, Cody." I sat beside her bed, holding our child. After reading it, I immediately took her phone away. The comments were already filled with laughter. Someone asked whether, once the child grew up, he might think he was a streaming site member. The site's official account rushed in to claim him, promising him free renewals for life. 10 minutes later, a nurse brought in the birth registration form. In the name field, Shen Buyu had already neatly written Fang Xiu. Sister Wang stood at the foot of the bed, taking my side for the first time. "The child has never wronged you. Do not take revenge on him like this." I picked up the pen and crossed it out. Fang verification? I crossed out the second one too. The hospital television was replaying the Eldest Prince. In real life, Shen Buyu held the baby and pushed the registration form toward me again. Fang Xiu. One last time. I capped the pen. "Shut up." She teased the baby awake. His tiny hand grasped at the air twice. Shen Buyu immediately offered him her finger. He grabbed it at once and would not let go. I looked at that tiny hand and suddenly remembered that blindfold game at the villa. Some people, even through a crowd, can still reach out and grab you unerringly. Shen Buyu lowered her head to soothe the baby, still murmuring about verification codes. I pulled the birth registration form back, then wrote the name we had agreed on long ago in the name field. This time, no one hit send by accident.